What would you say to those who are just kind of overly critiquing the film at this point? You've worked so hard on it.
I'm getting on across. Hold on. Here. Yeah, hold on.
All right. Congrats.
Rachel Zegler is extraordinarily woke, but she's woke in a way that's quite deranged.
No one on the right side of America can stand the star of this movie.
But you don't seemingly like your own character, so she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat.
Rachel is literally the star of a Disney movie, and she acts like she's some sort of victim, and that's the sort of mentality that is just poisoning people's minds. Like, she acts like her life is so bad.
I truly do believe that. There's something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy, and she thinks it's about feminism and the patriarchy and about abortion, but the reality is she's just not stable.
And you know the saying, go woke, get broke, and Disney's gonna lose money on this movie, and I believe it only made less than $1 million.
Rachel Zegler's sudden silence has sent shockwaves through Hollywood, especially after the colossal failure of Disney's Snow White remake. What was supposed to be a blockbuster success for the studio has turned into a PR nightmare, and now the actress who was once their shining star has completely disappeared from the spotlight. But the question everyone's asking is why? Is Zegler avoiding the fallout, or is there something far deeper happening behind closed doors? From controversial remarks to a shockingly quiet retreat, Zegler's career is unraveling in real time, and the world is watching. In this video, we'll uncover the truth behind her disappearance, the financial disaster, and the rumors swirling around one of Hollywood's most talked about figures. You won't want to miss this, because what happens next could change everything. Rachel Zegler's rise to fame was nothing short of meteoric. After her standout role in West Side Story, she quickly became one of Hollywood's brightest new talents. Disney saw massive potential in her, casting her as Snow White in the highly anticipated live-action remake of their 1937 classic. Fans were excited to see a modern take on such an iconic character, especially with Zegler's fresh, youthful energy. She seemed poised to become the next big thing in Hollywood, with an extensive marketing campaign and major buzz around her casting. The combination of a beloved, nostalgic brand and a talented young actress had all the ingredients for a smash hit. Zegler was being positioned as the face of Disney's future in live-action remakes, and everything seemed aligned for her to lead this new era of Disney films. But things would soon take a sharp, unexpected turn. The excitement surrounding Zegler's casting quickly began to sour during the press tour for Snow White. It wasn't just her role in the film, but her outspoken comments that started to stir controversy. Zegler made waves by dismissing the original 1937 animated film, calling it weird and criticizing the character of the prince, referring to him as a stalker. These remarks rubbed many fans the wrong way, especially those who had grown up with the beloved classic. Her comments about modernizing Snow White and removing the traditional love story also alienated a large portion of the audience who cherished the movie's original charm. Instead of celebrating the legacy of the Disney classic, Zegler's tone was seen as dismissive and arrogant. Fans began to question whether she truly understood the cultural significance of Snow White, and the backlash quickly snowballed into full-on outrage across social media platforms. When Snow White finally hit theaters, the worst fears of Disney executives became reality. The film, which had a massive budget and high expectations, flopped spectacularly at the box office. It was a historic failure, with industry insiders projecting a loss of hundreds of millions. Fans were disappointed by the film's deviation from the original, with many calling it unrecognizable. The magic and charm that made the 1937 version so beloved seemed missing, and audiences were quick to voice their dissatisfaction. To make matters worse, Zegler's previous comments about the original film and its characters only made things worse, fueling the fire of disappointment. Her polarizing presence during the promotional campaign had inadvertently turned her into a lightning rod for the film's failure. Instead of being seen as the face of a successful new era for Disney, Zegler's role in Snow White became a symbol of what went wrong for the studio. Just when the situation couldn't get more chaotic, Rachel Zegler disappeared from the public eye, leaving fans and industry insiders alike scratching their heads. After the film's disastrous release and growing backlash, Zegler's social media went silent and she made no public appearances. The timing of her disappearance raised more questions than answers. Rumors began to swirl when reports claimed she had flown to Dubai, sparking speculation that she might be avoiding the media or trying to escape the mounting pressure. Was this a strategic PR move to avoid further damage? Or was Zegler retreating for personal reasons, trying to regroup away from the relentless scrutiny? This sudden vanishing act only fueled the fire of speculation, with some suggesting that she was hiding from legal trouble or facing intense pressure from Disney. Whatever the reason, Zegler's silence turned her into an even bigger mystery, and the drama surrounding her only intensified. As the Snow White disaster continued to unfold, Disney's internal response became the subject of intense speculation. Industry insiders revealed that behind the scenes, the studio was scrambling to address the mounting crisis. Zegler's controversial remarks, coupled with the film's catastrophic box office failure, had left Disney executives furious. Sources suggested that Disney was seriously considering options such as enforcing morality clauses or even cutting bonuses for Zegler, who had become the public face of the debacle. However, the most shocking development was her sudden disappearance. This move prompted many to wonder whether it was a calculated strategy to escape further backlash or a desperate attempt to manage an increasingly toxic situation. With reports surfacing that Disney was preparing legal action, the tension in Hollywood grew. The speculation only intensified as Zegler's silence continued, with some insiders questioning whether this was part of a larger PR strategy to salvage what was left of her career. In the wake of the growing backlash, Rachel Zegler issued a public apology, but it only fueled more skepticism. The apology, which she posted on her social media, seemed to lack the emotional depth that fans were expecting. Instead of feeling genuine, it came across as polished, almost corporate, leading many to believe that it wasn't truly her words, but rather a carefully crafted statement from Disney's PR team. Social media sleuths quickly dissected the phrasing, pointing out that it echoed familiar crisis management language often seen in corporate apologies. This lack of authenticity only deepened the divide, as fans who were already upset by her previous comments felt further alienated. Zegler's attempt to mend the situation seemed to fall flat, as the apology didn't address the specific missteps or show real remorse. Instead of soothing the situation, it only confirmed suspicions that Zegler was being controlled by Disney's machine, further distancing her from her audience. Rachel Zegler's once promising Hollywood career quickly spiraled into a full-blown reputation collapse. Just months ago, she was positioned as one of Disney's brightest rising stars, with big projects on the horizon. Analysts had labeled her as one of the most exciting young talents in the industry, with potential for major crossover success and international fame. But with the failure of Snow White and the increasingly negative public perception, all of that came crashing down. Industry insiders say Zegler is now struggling to salvage what's left of her image, with some of her closest advisors even suggesting that she should stay out of the spotlight for the foreseeable future. Once a darling of Hollywood, Zegler now finds herself fighting to rebuild her credibility. What once seemed like a dream career is now a cautionary tale of how quickly a reputation can implode, and the emotional toll it's taken on her is impossible to ignore. As the Snow White debacle continues to unfold, Disney is reportedly in full damage control mode, and industry insiders are taking note. Many believe that the studio is quietly distancing itself from Zegler, especially as the fallout from her comments and the film's failure grows. Some upcoming projects that had considered casting Zegler in lead roles are now reassessing their options, with producers wary of the negative backlash she might bring. The damage to her reputation is real, and Disney is reportedly reevaluating its investment in her future. This has created a tense situation in Hollywood where perception is everything. As the Snow White controversy looms large, the possibility that Zegler's association with Disney could be over is becoming more likely. Insiders have even whispered that Disney may be considering other options for their upcoming live-action remakes, no longer seeing her as the face of the future they once envisioned. Rachel Zegler's complete withdrawal from the public eye has only intensified the speculation surrounding her. Since her sudden disappearance, there's been no social media activity, no public appearances, and no word from her inner circle. The once vocal actress who was always in the spotlight has become a ghost, and that silence speaks volumes. Was this retreat a smart PR move to escape further media scrutiny, or is Zegler struggling emotionally with the fallout from Snow White? Some speculate that her legal team has advised her to stay out of the public eye to avoid complicating things further, especially if the possibility of legal action is on the table. Others believe she's simply retreating to regroup, away from the chaos and negative attention. Whatever the reason, the longer Zegler remains silent, the louder the questions become. Her absence is now one of the biggest stories in Hollywood, and every day the curiosity continues to build. So what's next for Rachel Zegler? Will she make a triumphant comeback, or has Disney quietly severed ties with the actress at the center of one of Hollywood's biggest PR disasters? Her silence continues to raise more questions than answers, and the longer she stays out of the spotlight, the more speculation grows. Is she trying to escape the fallout of Snow White, or is there something bigger at play behind the scenes? One thing's for sure, the story of Rachel Zegler is far from over. As the dust settles, her next move could not only reshape her career, but also redefine how this entire controversy is remembered. What do you think? Has Rachel truly disappeared, or is she biding her time for a comeback? Let us know in the comments below, and if you want the latest updates on Hollywood's biggest scandals and celebrity drama, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. This story is just getting started.